Hello, this is Glenn Rocco with PDI Communications. Thanks for joining us today for the release of our medTAB22. This is the largest arm-mounted television that PDI has made to date. We design, stamp, form, and do final assembly here in our Springboro, Ohio plant. Sit back, enjoy the video, let us know if you have any questions that we can answer or assist you with. Thanks. This statistic really surprised me. I've been involved in the development of this product on and off. Probably 12 months now. And until we actually did the calculations on the square inches, 16 inch to 22, okay, that's about 6 inches. But by square inches, it's 95% larger than our previous model, our 15.6 medTAB 16, which is still available by all means. But this improvement has almost doubled the screen size. So what does that mean? It means a bigger, brighter, bolder picture, but it also means larger touchscreen area to where elderly patients, maybe people who are a little under the weather, have a larger area to touch with their finger. I'm sure we've all been on our smartphones and mistyped letters and tried to text with our fat thumbs or fingers like mine and had issues. But with this screen size and you bring up a virtual keyboard, you've got a lot of space to type in to enter URL addresses if you want to do a search, or make selections on our tiles that'll show in a moment here on the set. Bigger in this case really is better. It's also bigger, faster at the same time. We've put a newer Android operating system on it. We've jumped from Android 7 to Android 11. We've put a faster CPU in it with more memory. We've also enhanced the quality of the camera. We went from a 5 megapixel to an 8 megapixel camera. We're finding many facilities using the built-in camera and microphones, whether it be for telehealth or telemedicine, or even allow family members and loved ones who can't be with others, whether it be at the holidays or birthdays, or just at the end of the week, to have conversations, to be able to engage and interact through that device. It is also fully backwards compatible to any 13-pound arm we've made, but we're also looking forward in the ability to do power over Ethernet. So PoE, as it's known, is becoming very popular, and especially in new construction where facilities want to combine resources on cabling, where they want to do infrastructure and bandwidth, as well as IPTV, and then use it as a source to get power. It is a stronger power over Ethernet standard. It's a PoE++. That's about 60 watts. So cameras and desk phones in your office do utilize a lower standard. So just make sure that you talk with us as you're looking, or as you may look to use PoE. We'll make sure we steer you in the right direction with the right cable, the right power supply to run. If you have older existing power over coax, of course, those still work. They still operate exactly like they have on sets that we've made for 30 plus years. Any arm, whether it be a 400 series, a 500 series, or a new 1400 series, that's set for 13 pounds. So that would have been our 15-inch set, or recent 19-inch set, or now the 22, are all interchangeable and compatible. So you can up it. The standard of UL has changed over the last, I think, about 12 months. So the new ANX is 62368-1, and that's replaced the 60065. It's still a UL listing for healthcare in both Canada and the US, and we conform to that. We're tested to that and approved to that. Just if you see a different number on the back than you're used to, this is the reason why. Our existing products that had recognition under the 60065 will retain that until we modify it at a great level to justify a change to the new 62368. The product is very scalable. It is a smart television only. It does not come in a TV only model any longer, but we can give offline experiences. So no internet connectivity. You would get television, games, and relaxation as shown by those 3 buttons on the left. But at any time, if you wish to grow, enhance, give greater options as far as entertainment or internet access, you can connect this device either through wired or wireless internet connectivity. And now you can open it up to our 6-button solution, which gives the addition of education, internet access, and social medias. So if you hit the social media tile, you'll get Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and Pinterest. If you hit the internet, you can go to a Google search and type anywhere or touch anywhere in the search bar, and it'll bring up an on-screen virtual keyboard. As I mentioned, it's very sizable, easy to navigate through, and you can type in search parameters as a patient or resident and get good internet access. All internet activities are controlled still by IT or IS. So if you have filters or parameters in place to block certain types of content or material, those will still apply. So you don't have to worry about them searching nefarious sites or actions that you don't want to be present within your facility. And for education, it will launch to the CDC website to give a educational library. It's very nice, actually. They've got search parameters by disease state, and you can go through and learn a little bit more about the disease state online. Also, the product is Genio compatible. Genio is our customization tool to allow you to move tiles around, to navigate, to add additional ones, and for full customization. For more information on that, let us know, and we can set up a separate webinar to educate you and get more in depth on Genio and all of its actions, from meal ordering to customer satisfaction surveys to messaging and much more. These are what these 6 tiles will do once you get connected to the internet. In the upper left-hand corner, of course, is television. You'll notice in a moment when I show the device that it has a minimized keypad at the bottom. It's a touch keypad, but it has channel up and down, volume up and down, power, home, and back. But when in TV mode, you touch anywhere on the screen and it brings up that larger blue bar at the bottom. And now you get full control like you would have with an IR remote. You've got guide, you've got channel access, you have source buttons, you have volume up and down, channel up and down. I'll go through that in more detail in a moment when we actually show the product. And this receives signal from an antenna, a coax provider, a satellite such as Dish or DirecTV, as well as IPTV. So if you are going to run structured cable and you want to have an IPTV system within your facility, it is full direct plug and play. It has ProIdiom and ProIdiom M decryption. ProIdiom would be used on cable and satellite signals, and ProIdiom M would be used for all of the IPTV streams to allow you to decrypt and display any encrypted programming that is out there. And we can decode MPEG-2 as well as MPEG-4. The center screen here in the middle top is our game selection. These games are fully embedded. There's no internet hit. There's no bandwidth requirement or internet connectivity. They're simple games. They're not PS5 Grand Theft Auto level games, but they're a good distraction for patients, family members, and loved ones. For example, solitaire, there's 17 different games of solitaire. There's Frozen Bubbles, operates on the full touch screen, allows you to be very interactive and play with it. The relaxation screen, we have a couple of simple background pictures with soothing music and sound to go along with it. In the lower left is showing the pop-up keyboard that displays when you get on the internet and touch in the search bar. Again, very large, very easy to navigate, toggle between letters and numbers. CDC, that's their educational website in the middle. And on the right, you've got the social media icons that I mentioned: Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter, Pinterest, and YouTube. Once you get to Genio, there's all kinds of tiles and icons that we can customize to load onto the screen. They can be some of our simple ones like meal ordering, different entertainment buttons, or anything virtually that you want to download from a app source. We can do Netflix, Amazon Prime Video, ABC News, CBS, NBC, ESPN. There's a lot of apps and APKs that we can work with you to customize and load on. Again, if you have interest in Genio, let us know and we can go into a much more in-depth demo for you on that and show you the back-end system and how to navigate it. Multiple ways to control the product. This product can be pillow speaker controlled and pillow speaker compatible for those that maybe have less dexterity or minimal use of their arms up over their eye level. Pillow speakers are great for that. Let us know when you're ordering or wish to have a pillow speaker. There does need to be some cabling inside of the set. We can easily accommodate those needs. As I mentioned a couple of times, the touchscreen is a great way to navigate, both making TV selections as well as internet and game selections. Keypad is now backlit, so when they touch either on the screen or on the keypad, it will light up for a period of time so they can see it in a dimly lit room to make those adjustments, and then it will dim and go back off. Also, our 108-527 IR remote is a navigable tool. It has a built-in mouse feature now. We can select a button and use a cursor, arrow, and OK button like you would on a handheld mouse. Very convenient. The front of the set at the bottom has some input ports. The round circular one is for a headphone jack or for an earphone. We can allow the internal speakers to be on or off, but if they are on and you plug in the headset, it does mute those internal speakers for as long as the headset's plugged in. But if you look at just above it to the right, there is a slot. So all the sound comes forward facing to the patient, anyhow, to remove any sound coming out of the back or the sides that may be unwanted and not really focused at the patient. Next to the round earphone jack is a USB-C and then a USB-A port. Both of these are for charging or firmware updates if need be. The USB-C is a quick charge, so it designates that it is a fast charge or quick charge out of that port. That's to plug in smartphones, handheld devices, iPads, and such to keep your patients' handheld devices charged. And to the left of that, that's a microphone for use with our built-in camera for speaking into Zoom type calls like this. The devices have a great sound from them. We do have that front-facing headphone jack we talked about, patient-facing speakers, as well as pillow speakers. But we also have an option for Bluetooth. Bluetooth allows quick, easy pairing to wireless devices as well as wireless hearing aids. So some hearing aids are Bluetooth compatible, and this will allow patients to easily pair their device, get more focused, centralized sound, and not have to blare audio out through the speakers and maybe too much noise for nurses, other patients, or whomever. I mentioned backwards compatibility a little bit earlier. These are some of the devices that we've manufactured that the new 22-inch set will fit on their arms. So the P15X on the far left, we built that set probably 15 years ago. Their arms still out there in the field, still in use, but as those TVs start to fail, these new medTAB22s can go right onto those arms and power supplies and wall brackets and not have to replace any additional hardware besides the TV. The medTV and medTAB19 are the two products in the middle. We produced those for about 5 or 6 years. They just went end of life this past fall. And again, as those products start to age and they need replaced, this medTAB22 will go right in its place. The device is built with antimicrobial plastics for ease of clean wipe and disinfection. The back of the cabinet has cooling vents, but they're recessed and angled upwards, so it's easy to spray and clean with disinfectants without getting any of those cleaners into the electronic components in the set. It is UL listed as such. Also, if there's a need to ever service the device, it can be serviced while on the arm still. There's a series of screws on the back, and while still supported, the back can come off of the device, whether you're replacing a component or you're replacing a cable or something like that, and then reinstalled and re-screwed in place without having to take it off of the arm. Speaking of arms, we have a complete solution of support arms from wall mounting, counter, chair, ceiling, floor. We have a variety of mounts that fit virtually any application in a facility, whether they have walls, high ceilings. We can accommodate a broad variety of scenarios. I hope the slide presentation was informative to you. Now we're going to transition and be in front of an actual product. Join me. All right, so here next to me I have the medTAB16 and the medTAB22. Again, you can see the similarities between them with the rounded corners, the small profiles around the edges. Same controls between the two tab units. This one has the USB ports and microphone or earphone jack, excuse me, on the front, where this one you had to come at it down from an angle. Both sets have forward-facing speakers. They're located in these small troughs here. Channel up and down, volume up and down, home, back, and power. This is our standard 6-icon launcher. Obviously, much larger screen. A clear, bright, crisp picture and the full HD panel. Of course, we have full controls here, channel up and down. But at any time when you touch anywhere in the screen, it brings up a sub keypad. This is all touch screen. You've got features, guide, favorites, channel entry last, channel up and down, volume up and down, mute, closed caption, info, and source. And you'll notice some of these are new. The guide button will allow access to an electronic programming guide if it's available on your cable signal or signal from your satellite provider. But at any time, I could come in and hit channel entry, for example, and this will pop me up a 0 through 9 keypad, allow direct access to any channels that are in the facility. We also have the ability through Genio to have a tile or icon that shows guide if your facility doesn't have an electronic programming guide. Kind of like the old white paper you used to pass around, or maybe even tape to the televisions in the old days. But it's easily modified. It can be in a Google Doc, and as channels often do get reallocated or moved around, this can follow so a patient knows channel 2 is ABC and channel 30 is ESPN, keeping them comfortable. And that would be here. So there would be a button that just says TV guide. They'd read it, and then they could go to TV and enter in the buttons that they wish. Of course, games. We've got a variety and series of games available. At any time, I can go home, go into relaxation, education, internet, or others. I mentioned on internet, at any time you want the pop-up keyboard, you can press in the bar and it'll bring up a pop-up virtual keyboard. Very big, very easy to read, very easy for tactile feed. I mean, I don't have to pinpoint a small little area. I can move my finger quite a bit and still have access and contact in that area. Again, social media sites, we can bring up access to Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter. And I want to be clear that all of these accesses are one-to-one. So a patient will put in their mobile phone number and their password to get access to Facebook, for example. But they have ways to clear that data out, to wipe out any search history, any passwords, logins or credentials that they enter, so that that information does not reside on the set after they've been discharged or left the facility. We can also set those up on a timer to where after a period of anywhere from 1 to 24 hours, it'll wipe and clean that data. Also, every time the power is turned off on the set, it can also be set up to wipe and clean all data. So the best way we look at it is housekeeping's coming in after the patient's been discharged. They turn off the television, they wipe it physically. Now we know the device has been cleaned both physically as well as electronically. So very easy process and steps to do. In addition to the headphone jack and USB ports, the microphone is located down here in the corner, and the camera is located up here below the glass. So it's impervious to being poked or prodded or manipulated with forks or knives or anything like that, but still gives a great 8 megapixel picture quality. As I mentioned on the back of the set, it's very easy to clean, wipe, and disinfect. We do have a few more screws because of the size than the 16-inch does. It only has 4 mounting screws. This one has 8. Again, larger footprint. But when these are unfastened, this device will drop from the collar and can be hinged up and out of the way. If you wish to do maintenance on the device, on the arm, it could be done. It's the same direction. This unit is in cream. It will be available in cream or gray, just like the 16 and 19 were. And can be done in cream to be backwards compatible to anything that's out there. I mentioned the Bluetooth logo icon earlier. Here it is in use on the bottom of the screen. Thanks for joining us today. Hopefully you saw some tidbits of information that proved informative to you. If you have additional questions or follow-up that we can assist you with, feel free to go to www.pdiarm.com or reach out to us at 1-800-628-9870. Thank you.